Hey friends, this is Flagg from Crafty Games here. I'm a small business owner who makes a lot of my products in China, and we're hearing a lot about tariffs and talking a lot about tariffs, but I think one thing that folks might want to know is that these policies may have already killed Christmas for a lot of you. So, to explain it, when we order stuff for the holidays, generally it takes about 3 months to go through the pipeline. So if we are going to have things in September when you want things for sale, you have to order it, around May or June. And that's if everything's going smoothly. But what's happened is everyone who's a small business owner who makes stuff in China has had to stop. The smart money is if you didn't have something going, you stop it. If you're already making it, you keep making it, and then you park it in the warehouse and let it wait there. So here's where it gets tricky. Everything that's in the factories now is going through. Some people may want to get a jump on things, and so they also put things in the factory and start running them. Those will be done in about a month. And so eventually those warehouses at those factories are going to back up, and this is where it gets tricky. If you remember back to 2021, we had bubbles in our supply chains. Things would back up at a port, and then nobody could get their stuff out. And then ships would be sitting out in the harbor waiting to deliver to the port. So everything backs up like a traffic jam. Because everyone has stopped production, because we don't know what the policies are going to be. We don't know what the tariffs are going to be next week, much less next month, much less 3 to 6 months from now. We're facing this situation where everybody's waiting. Those factories are going to be eventually full of material. And there's going to be no boats bringing stuff over because nobody's ready to pay the tariffs. And so when this bubble eventually pops and people know what to do, or at least know what it's going to cost, we're going to start moving things. But now we have a bubble in the system. So products that are going to leave China immediately, they're going to fill up all the ships. That means everything that's still in the warehouses that can't get on a ship has to sit there and wait. And that means the factory can't start making stuff. So they have to slow down. And that means everybody who decided to wait until they knew better about the policies is now going to have to wait to start. And so my expectation is that the wait time for something to get out of China into the US that hasn't started already is going to look something more like 6 months, because the 2021 supply chain bubble told us that about doubled the time to get things onto a boat, out of a factory, onto a boat, across the water, here to the States, and then through a port, onto a truck, so you can get it to your warehouse, so you can get it to the store, because that's how it works. So, if that's the case, and it is 6 months, and I'm right, what things that we were expecting to have in stores by September would already have to be done and on the water, and maybe even in the United States. And it's April now. We don't have any clarity on what's happening next. So that means that we're going to be looking at something more like November arrivals, And like that's if I'm right, it's 6 months to get your thing that hasn't started now. You start it at the end of this month. You might not get it here until November, and by then it's too late to be ready for Christmas. So if you have something you really want to get your kids for Christmas, if you want to get anything that we have to make in China because we don't have the ability to make it here, there's no factories. So I'm talking toys, I'm talking something that's made predominantly of plastic, I'm talking electronics, I'm talking board games, which is what I make. Anything like that, get it now. Because the uncertainty that we're facing is not going to go away anytime soon. And anything that's this risky, that's facing a 145% tariff minimum coming out of China for the foreseeable future, if there's stock running out, they're not going to remake it. They don't have the money because they have to pay a tax. That's what a tariff is. It's a tax on the importer. It's not on the country. No, don't believe that. No country pays because it leaves the country. The tariff is paid at the port. And by then it's already left. The factory's not doing anything here. So that is just a tax we are paying to subsidize this ridiculous policy. And so if you want to get something nice for your kids, if you want to get something that you can only get in China, Get it now.